Did you try something new?
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
How is Atlanta?
Had a few problems ourselves. Some figures didn't add up.
Big deal?
Life or death. Wine? I got it.
I'll get a towel.
Try something new.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Gulp.
So how was Atlanta?
Had some problems ourselves. Some figures didn't add up.
Big deal?
Life or death? One.
Yes.
I'll get it.
I'll get a towel.
So starting from the end, this shot, whenever we're dropping the, it's supposed to be a wine bottle, but I didn't want him to waste their wine by breaking it on the floor. So we just had this little tissue paper thing. I don't really know what it is. It's their house. I don't know. And so obviously because both of those shots where he's holding it and then he drops it on the floor, obviously the tripod can't get that low. So as you can see, it's still standing up there in front of the TV. I have my key light to the left there, the big tall one that's lighting up the whole room. It's shining on the ceiling. It's been refracting light for every shot that we're going to be looking at today. The one in the back to the right of that is another light. It's a 150 watt light. I used it for the first shot. However, I wasn't really comfortable with moving it because unfortunately the little twisty thing on the side of it just wasn't cooperating. Well, it wasn't that it wasn't cooperating, it's that it wasn't there, just period. So that was unfortunate, but I was still able to get some use out of it for the first shot, as we'll see in a second. And then in the bottom right here, closest to my camera, the other 150 watt light with a lot of diffusion paper over it. Because in the actual scene I'm basing it off of, there's no real intense light. It's mostly lit up on the one side of it, of the bottle, and then it's dark on the other. So I wanted to kind of try to do a similar thing. I didn't really have any light on the opposite side. I just had it on the right side of it. And then, oh yeah, I don't think I actually explained what we did instead in lieu of the tripod. So we used the little bucket right there on the floor. You can see next to the tissue paper thing. I just put the camera, which is now on the ground in this shot, because that's how we got it hitting the ground. We just put the camera on the ground too. We just used the bucket for when he was holding the thing and dropping it in slow motion. Next one we're looking at is Angelina Jolie's scenes, although obviously this is not Angelina, this is Johnny. So if you look to the left of the table, I have that same light from the previous shot we looked at facing towards him, and I try to get it so that the back part of in the shot itself that I'm basing this off of, it's totally dark behind him. So I wanted to kind of do a similar thing. I just wanted there to be intense light on him. Thankfully, it doesn't really show up in this picture, but the key light here made it so that there really weren't many shadows behind him. For this shot here, Johnny Boy's trying to get out of the way. He didn't realize I was taking a picture. Both of the over-the-shoulder shots that we got, Aidan, our Brad Pitt character, is walking over towards Johnny Boy, our Angelina Jolie character, and giving him the wine bottle and pouring wine and dropping the wine bottle in one catch, which, yes, took multiple takes. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough space on my SD card to keep bad takes for, like, outtakes. So, unfortunately, those are lost to time. But, yeah, as you can see, the key lighting, actually, I moved it for this one. I put it on the wall, because that scene in the movie is a little bit more brightly lit, more encompassing, I guess. So, I just shined it directly onto the wall to the right, off screen, and that refracted the light quite a bit, and it helped a lot. And then I have this 150-watt light here. No diffusion paper, no nothing. Actually, no, something. There's a barn door on it. It's covering the bottom half of it. I just wanted to experiment, and I think it looked pretty good, you know? I don't know. I have barn doors, might as well use them. This is the table scene, focusing on Angelina Jolie's character, where he'll be sitting on the left side of the table. I even put a little candle in there for one shot. I don't know how visible it is in the actual frame.
So how was Atlanta?
I believe we took it out later because those candles don't last long, and that's very unfortunate. But so yeah, our key lighting is, it's kind of hard to see, but it is shining on the ceiling. It has a ton of diffusion paper on it. I did not get dimmers for this project. That probably would have helped me quite a bit, but that was a stupid mistake I made. And then I have this light over here, not the one that's turned off, obviously, but it's twin. I don't know why the diffusion paper is still on the other light in this scene, but oh well. So yeah, it has the same barn door on it. I believe, yeah, the barn door actually helped quite a bit. It's the lower half barn door thing. I don't know what it's called. Put it on screen, future me. But yeah, it kind of helped quite a bit with not having... It helped with exposure a little bit, because there are points in this footage that I'm editing right now that I think look a little bit pixelated, and that's not so good. This actually helped with that quite a bit. It was way overexposed without it on, so. Alright, so this is the first shot that I set up, and it's the one where Brad Pitt's character is just sitting at the table. As you can see, I have the camera at about eye level-ish, just like in the actual movie. It's focusing on the lights now. As always, we have our key light over there, and it's pointing at the ceiling, refracting it all over the set. There are not meant to be any shadows in this scene. Unfortunately, what I've noticed while I was editing is that this light back here, the only time that I used that third light, it casts too much of a shadow on the wall when I was filming. Did not notice at the time. Yeah, so we have our key light over there. It's refracting all the light onto the scene, obviously. We have this 150 watt right here, also kind of shining not at him, but it's shining at that back wall where Homer's face is. That was also just kind of used to, like, indirectly light up the scene, to indirectly get his face specifically. Looking at this photo, though, and looking at the footage that I got, I can't help but wonder why everything looks so orange in it. I don't know what happened there. I swear it didn't look like that when I was actually filming it. It just kind of came out that way. But yeah, that's how I got the lighting for this scene. As mentioned earlier, this is the only shot that I used all three lights on, because I wanted to initially use all three lights to some extent for every shot, but without dimmers, that was kind of tricky to do. So for the other shots, after realizing I think this one really needed three lights, because in the shot with Brad Pitt, the behind him is lit up quite a bit more than in Angelina Jolie's shots. The background of Angelina Jolie's shots are a little bit darker in the background, and in the background of Brad Pitt's shots, it's a little bit, slightly bit brighter back there, and that's kind of what I was going for. I think the big challenge at least was in the movie, there's quite a bit of space behind Brad Pitt, which is why in the actual footage, it seems so much brighter behind Aidan there, because the light is refracting off that wall. However, the wall is much closer to the light than it could have been otherwise. Again, I think dimmers could have helped a lot here. Really regretting not having gotten them. I'm definitely going to use them on every project going forward that uses lights. And that's how I lit up all my shots. Thanks.
Nope.